My second one, which is science, and for me, I use it in the genetics and muscle development in athletes. So the intro for this is the excerpt explains how genetics influence muscle performance using terms like fast twitch and slow twitch fibers. For this, the language systems that I look to use is orthography is equal to the technical spelling of TNA, genetics, and endurance. The morphology would be like the breakdown of gen equals origin, endo with N, and X as in the field. So that just kind of helps them have a great understanding of like what genetics actually is from a actual linguistic component. Then I'll be breaking down the concepts of fast twitch, which equals explosive, and slow twitch, which is more of an endurance base. So then they can start differentiating between the two types of systems. The syntax would be like the cause and effect phrasing. So while slow twitch supports endurance, fast twitch allows them to expand on that, since we're talking about two different sections. For me, the text features would be like the diagrams and comparison charts with very simple and bold vocabulary, with also visuals for them to look at, which can give a breakdown of the different sections and types of the muscles and where they're located. The pragmatics would be the connection between biology, knowledge to training, so science and how that actually relates to your body and how it actually relates to your performance on the field and then within the sport. For me, like the teaching moves would be the highlight the prefixes and the roots, so just basically again the context behind the origins of what it is, using diagrams and vocabulary anchors to link together the different types of concepts that we're talking about into one, so then it starts to bring the whole picture together. Using some diagrams allows for easy visualization, so to break it up basically between what it normally is. Having them paraphrase the different types of muscle fibers and the differences in them and their use allows them to actually get a visualization of why they're different, where they're located, and how they're utilized. This can also then allow them to connect to their own experience with running, so the different types of experiences that they've had as individuals, because everyone's a little different. We might have some students that are more fast twitch users, some might be more slow twitch, and just the difference between that and why they're different. We can talk about origins as well, culturally and genetically, so people from different ethnicities obviously have different levels of high twitch and low twitch muscle fibers, which is also a talking point that can kind of relate back to this in a deeper setting. In the org tree organizer, the description of the muscle fibers and muscle fiber types and performance, with examples in comparing sprint versus endurance runs. For the lesson idea, I'll do a PE tie-in with students record which fibers they likely use in different runs. So giving them very short bursts, like a 10-meter sprint all the way up to like a 400-meter to maybe an 800, and that way then they can talk about why they use different muscle types in these different moments. Evaluation cues would be again based on the scaffold, diagrams plus explicit vocab. Would allow them to get a better understanding of how it all looks within the diagrams. The vocabulary might be comparing, like using these words that we give you and locating where they go in the diagram to help kind of connect the two. The relevancy is directly tied to science to student performance, so how do we break in the scientific side of the sports world and kind of connecting the two different topics, which maybe to some is very complete different worlds, and bring them together so that they're more relatable together.